These are very substantial questions, but the court has declined, and when we have sought to appeal their ruling, and the law clearly says we have a right of appeal and uses the mandatory language, shall. The court, through the judge advocate, has declined, and even declined to hear our arguments. We are leaving this place very sad, not able to know whether the court is still going to function or it's the judge advocate, because he has totally hijacked.
But that's how the accused person was brought before the court did not follow the due process of the law. Our counsel cited this court, the case of Omar Awad Omar and 10 others versus Attorney General Consolidated Constitutional Petition number 55 and 56 of 2011, and submitted that the accused person was illegally brought here from Kenya to Uganda, having been abducted. That section 208 and 209 of the UPDF Act that appears to grant the court jurisdiction contravenes Articles 79 and 129 of the Constitution. In the charge sheet, because the accused is charged under Uganda law, under Ugandan law, the UPDF Act, which act clearly defines defense forces to mean the Uganda People's Defense Forces. 3, on the submissions that the accused person was abducted and brought to Uganda without following the due process of the law. This court finds that there is no extradition treaty between Uganda and Kenya that was breached. To the contrary, this court finds that the accused being brought to Uganda through a memorandum of understanding between Uganda and Kenya on defense and security for persons suspected to have committed serious crimes did not amount to abduction. This court has considered the consolidations of the Constitutional Court in Omar and others which were cited by counsel for the accused from paragraph 25 on page 63 to page 74 of the judgment, and entirely agrees with the court. In Nairobi, Kenya, we are found in an unlawful possession of a pistol model HB 1015 1953, which is ordinary monopoly of the defense forces. So, Colonel Dr. Besigye, have you had understood the charge read to you and account for?
I do, and I decline.
This evening, the court appears to have been hijacked totally by the judge advocate, who is giving the orders, although the regulations are very clear that he gives the advice, and the court can refuse to take his advice for good reason, which must be recorded. That to us means that we, the defense, can persuade the court not to take the advice of the judge advocate when it is misleading. But it's now no longer possible in this court because it's under total control of the judge advocate. One wonders then, what is the use of having a panel if the judge advocate makes all the decisions? Right now, the court refused to grant our request for a reference to the Constitutional Court on various questions, including the question of discrimination, because bringing civilians to a court-martial is discrimination when other civilians are being taken to the courts of judicature. We also challenged the territorial jurisdiction of the General Court-Martial. Our clients, Dr. Besigye and Mr. Rutale, were arrested in Kenya. Courts of Uganda have limited jurisdiction, limited to the territory of Uganda. So we had various constitutional questions, including the question of the arrest and incarceration of lawyer Aaron Chiza, who is part of the defense team of our two clients, and his absence disables their ability to defend themselves effectively. These are very substantial questions, but the court has declined, and when we have sought to appeal their ruling, and the law clearly says we have a right of appeal and uses the mandatory language, shall. The court, through the judge advocate, has declined, and even declined to hear our arguments. We are leaving this place very sad, not able to know whether the court is still going to function or it's the judge advocate, because he has totally hijacked the proceedings.
We have persistently put across that argument. We have invoked all the relevant laws to back up that argument that our clients are not subject to military law. They are not subject to martial law, and therefore this court has no jurisdiction to try them here. So they have refused to submit to the jurisdiction of this court, and that is the reason they are not taking a plea. And it's one of the reasons we sought for leave. No, actually not leave. It's one of the reasons we had made the application to have a reference to the Constitutional Court. The jurisdiction of this court, including those matters where the Constitutional Court has pronounced itself persistently even after the Kyebazako decision. Because every matter that has gone to the Constitutional Court, the verdict has been the same. The pronouncement has, and it is self-executing. We get a shock of our life when the prosecution. Tugamba bakyansi baffe bawakanya obuyinza bwa kooti eno okubawozesa. Mu nsonga nnyingi zonna zetayinza kuddamu wano. Naye zonna nga mulabye nti kooti eno terina buyinza kuwozesa misango gye bagamba nti gyazzibwa Kenya oba Greece oba Geneva. N'okuba nti babaleeta nga tebayise mateeka amatuufu ag'extradition. N'okuba nti nno kooti eno terina buyinza ku ba civilian. Ekintu kooti etaputa ssemateeka kyezeddamu enkya n'eggulo entakera n'emisango gyonna ne tugireeta wano. N'ekitwewunyisizza buli application gye tuteekayo dismissed. Buli ke muteekayo tukagobye. So buli kye tuleeta bagoba bugobi. Awo naakula etteeka ssemateeka kirambika bulungi atuka ow'ekikumi nti singa oli pate emu bw'ebeesabye nti ensonga zino zigende mu kooti etaputa ssemateeka, ono bano tebalina buyinza buzigaana na zitaputa, balina buyinza buziframinga. Naye mulabye amenye ssemateeka y'ennyingo '37 ye n'agamba nti tagenda kuziwaayo, aganye. Ekyokubiri, akawaayiro 225 aka UPDF Act kagamba nti atamatidde na nsala ye mu nsonga zonna n'engeri proceedings ezitambulamu oba omusango gye baguddukanyamu waddembe okwekubira endulu mu kooti esingawo. Ekyo nakyo agambye nakyo tuganye. Obuyinza nga judge advocate yalagira nga senior counsel wabagambye nti judge advocate ng'akomandinga bukomandinzi kakati ye yeefudde amateeka. So judge advocate yeteeka kyalagira ye kati biragiro. So n'olw'ensonga eyo kiranti waffe ye bakiranti baffe bayinsistinga nti tebalina bakiranti baffe bayinsistinga nti kooti eno tebalinaako buyinza, era kooti teyinza bagaana kugenda mu kooti etaputa ssemateeka, teyinza bagaana kujulira. N'olw'ensonga eyo era ne bagaa tebagenda kuteekinga puli. Bo bali ne basalawo nga bwe basazeewo nti bawandiika ekyo. Niffe kye tugamba nti balina okukiteeka mu record, kikapukyalinga bulungi mu record mu biwandiiko nti bakirantisi baffe bagaanye okuteekinga puli olw'ensonga nti tebakkiriziza mu kooti eno okubawozesa. Terina buyinza, terina buyinza bwonna mu mateeka kubawozesa, era bawozesa mu bukyamu, ebakaka bukasi okubeera mu kaguli n'okubawozesa. So n'olw'ensonga eyo tugenda kusala tulina enkola endala gye tugenda okulaba bwetukikolako. Titutudde kyetwagala obbakakasa titugenda kuba nga tuddayo nga legal team, tugenda kutuula ate era tutakule emitwe era tubikkule amateeka amalala bwe baziba lino ekkubo nga tetukwata eddala, bwe baggala lino nga tukwata eddala paka lwe tunaafuna obwenkanya.